Thanks. Yeah, so hello everyone. So welcome to the talk on Ansible integration in Foreman, end-to-end end-to-end automation for your enterprise. So before that, my name is Nikhil Kathole. I work as satellite I work on Satellite 6 project as a quality engineer at Red Hat. So what we are going to see in today's talk is that we are going to see about the Foreman, what prerequisites you need for the Ansible integration in the Foreman, how you can deploy your Ansible roles and automate your infra basically. And we are going to see the next one of the feature that is about the remote execution, where we have some Ansible Rex templates. And we are going to see also the AWX integration in the Foreman. And finally, we are going to look into the Foreman Ansible models, which is the cool thing nowadays. So how many of you already know the Foreman, what it is? Cool. So Foreman can do provisioning for you. It can do the configuration management for you. It can monitor host. That means you can keep an eye on your host. So provisioning means basically the process that creates machines for you on different resources. Configuration where you can perform any maybe automation, or maybe you can do these stuff on top of your operating system. And monitoring allows you to, if I got some error in between, it allows you to see what goes wrong in this basically. So let's see the Ansible integration with the Foreman, uh, how it helps to automate the apps and your IT infrastructure basically. So what things you can do with the Ansible integration in the Foreman? First thing, you can deploy and assign your Ansible roles to the host. You can run your Ansible roles on top of the host. Next is you can run Ansible remote execution templates. That means you can perform some package actions. You can restart services. You can do is anything that has you can do anything that has basically you need to do for your to manage your infrastructure. So you can also do the scheduling of your jobs depending on your requirements within the Foreman, and everything can be handled using the UI. So what prerequisite you need in the Foreman? Basically, Foreman needs Rex to be enabled on your server. So it's a simple command. First, you need to enable the plugin for the Foreman using Foreman installer -- enable Foreman plugin Ansible, and also on top of your smart proxy. And next thing, you need the remote execution, where you need to enable the plugin of remote execution, and so that you can SSH to the host. So once you do this configuration on your Foreman, Foreman will list out the Ansible and the SSH feature uh, in the section of Smart Proxy, where you can see these features are enabled or not. So how to deploy, I will show this in my demo as well. So first you need to go to the Foreman server. You have to download the role from the Ansible Galaxy and import it via the proxy. Once you have imported in your proxy, you can see all the roles within the Foreman UI. And later on, these roles can assign to any host. That means you can run your Ansible roles on your host. You don't need to care about the inventory files. You don't need to care about the whether you are playing manually with it or not. You can do everything from the Foreman UI. So it allows you to run Ansible. Once you have assigned those Ansible roles to the particular host, you can run those Ansible roles from the UI. So let's see a demo of it. So I have my Foreman server here. I have one host here called CentOS 7. If I go to the configure and Ansible section, you can see there are two. First is the roles and second are the variables. Now I'm going to roles and I'm going to import. So it says that no changes roles detected on this server. So first you need to download the role from the Ansible Galaxy. So let's SSH to your host. That is basically the Foreman server. This is the Foreman server. I don't have any role here, but let's download one of the role that is basically message of the message of the day. So this role is from someone contributor, Adrilgalin. I can't pronounce. So yeah, let's now import those roles. Now you can see those roles you can import in the Foreman. Just click it and update it. So you have successfully imported this role in the Foreman server. Now you can assign this role to any host. So let's say I have a host here. Just edit it. Here I have Ansible role tab. I will just add it and submit it. So as we are going to apply these roles to the host, let's see what changes it does on host side. So I have this host here, and I'm logging with. So currently there is no message here. So after applying the Ansible role, I should be able to see some message that is added by that particular role, right? So let's run that particular role. So Foreman creates the Ansible templates for you basically. So this is the template where you can see it is automatically created by the Foreman, where you can see this role has been run on the host that I have selected. So yes, it's completed. You can see the output of this. Yeah. So now I am logging into the host. So this is message that added by that particular role. So this system is managed by Ansible. It shows the whatever written in that particular role. So this way you can assign and import the roles in the Foreman. Okay, so move back to the presentation. So once you have assigned the roles, you can run those roles on your host. So next is the remote execution, where you can perform the different actions, such as handling with the services. You can install the package on your host. You can perform the also errata operations on your host. That means patching of your servers. So let's see how many templates are there and what is the meaning of this. So Foreman has different Ansible execution templates. First is the Ansible commands. That means you can run any command through this job template. Ansible Galaxy, you can install the roles on your host using this job template. Ansible packages, you can install, you can remove, you can group install, you can group remove. Then Ansible playbooks, you can run any playbook which you can add in Foreman server, and that will run on top of that host. Ansible power actions, that is restarting, rebooting, or shutting your server. Then Ansible Puppet, where you can run also Puppet agent using this job template. Ansible roles installation that we have seen, that is nothing but this job template. And Ansible services, you can handle the services finally. So you can also do the operations which are done by the catalog using this Ansible templates. That means you can install erratas, you can install packaging, you can install remove groups, or you can remove packages, you can restart the services. So once you run this Ansible execution templates, the output will look like this, where you have whether the job is completed or not. It will show what input you have put there, and it will show which template you have used, and finally the output of that particular Ansible execution template. So let's see a demo of it again. So I have my host. I'm just selecting it. And here you can see schedule remote job. So these are the number of templates we have. Let's see a short template of running the command. So I want to run a command of df-h. You can schedule this so that you don't need to do this repetitive task again and again. If you want to schedule for future executions, you can do using these options and just submit it. So again, you can preview this template. And yes, it is completed. And you can see the output of it again here. So yeah. So in the same way, you can perform the different actions. Again, let's say you have to perform the restart of the service. You can choose which state you want. You want to start, you want to restart, or you want to reload. According to your templates, it gives you different options. Here it's for restart and shutdown. So that's how you can run different Ansible templates of Foreman on your host. So yeah, we have seen that. We have nice output in the Foreman UI as well. So this is all about the Ansible and the Foreman integration. So anyone has any question? Okay, so let's move forward. Ansible also integrates with the AWX, that is the open source Ansible tower, where you can scale up your users to have all the hosts from the Foreman into your Ansible tower, that is the AWX. So first scenario is the dynamic inventory, where you can allow AWX to use the Foreman as a dynamic inventory source. And second is the provisioning callback, where you can have a host provisioning. Let's say your host is built completely and it is installed, and you want to perform some actions once it gets installed. So that's what you can do using this provisioning callback. So first see how you can configure AWX to talk to Foreman. So there is something called Foreman INI file, which has your Foreman credentials, where you can see here I have the URL for the Foreman, which user you want to use, which password, and finally SSL, whether you want to HTTP or HTTPS. So you can provide some Ansible operations as well. So group prefix, this is something when Foreman talks to the AWX, it fetches which host group it has, which content view it has. So it fetches some parameters from the Foreman. So you can have some prefix, let's say Foreman underscore content view, let's say Foreman underscore host group. So this way you can provide any prefix as you want. If you want facts from the Foreman to the AWX, you can set this option wants facts to the true. If you want host collection, then if you want Ansible SSH host. So this is the configuration basically. You can find out this INI file example at this URL. So this is the example of dynamic inventory where I have some host in my Foreman, and Foreman, it has some related groups which has the prefix, as I said, Foreman underscore content view, Foreman underscore lifecycle environment, Foreman underscore location, Foreman underscore its organization. So this is how you can see all the hosts. So let's see it in my AWX. So I have here AWX running. So what you need to do first in the AWX, you have to set the credentials using which your AWX can talk to the Foreman. So I have here selected Foreman. Credential types, you can select the Red Hat satellite as well, and other you can select the custom script. You can get the foreman.py, that is a Python file which will do the same stuff from the upstream. And this is the Foreman URL and username and password. So first thing is that username, and second thing, you need to create one inventory in the AWX. So here I have created one inventory with that credentials, and you have to create one source so that you can have all these hosts in this inventory. So if you go to the host, you can see all the hosts from my Foreman in the AWX. So I have my host here. I have here CentOS 7 and this my proxy. So I can see both of them here. Okay. So this is what about the dynamic inventory. There is something called post-provisioning callback that I told. That means you have to do some actions once the host get built. So Foreman has some provisioning templates provided where Ansible callback script and the service configurations is there. So for these templates, you need some parameters. So these parameters are nothing but all of this, so that I have Foreman and I need to talk to the AWS now. So it is nothing but the job template. Let's say I have one job template in my AWX with some hello world YAML. And I want this template to run on your host once it gets created. So what does this provisioning template will do? Once your host get created, it will go to the AWX. Hey, this YAML file you need to run once you get built. So for this, you have something called host config key and the provisioning callback URL. So you can see that here in AWX. You need to allow the provisioning callbacks. And this is the URL for the provisioning callback, and this is the host config key. So using this, your Foreman will talk to the Ansible AWX, and it will tell that, yes, you need to run this template. So if you see this template here, it has some curl. It is doing some curl with some data on some URL. So this is nothing but your provisioning callback. So let's say I have this template and I want to run this template on your host. So let's go to the job. I have now here 20 and 21 job running. And this is my host. So once the host get created, it will do some curl. So this curl is nothing but this is. So it has host config key and also the template for your callback. So once I curl this, you will see AWX will run two jobs here. So first, it looks for the inventory for the Foreman. Okay. So this is the Foreman inventory job. And this is the playbook YAML. So where what you have selected that hello world YAML. So once your host get created, it will run this and it will show the task hello world. So this is how you can do your stuff. Once your host get created, you have something in Foreman, run that particular from the AWX. So this is what we have seen. Once you have checked the allow provisioning callback, you have some provisioning callback URL here. Once you have curl that particular URL, the job gets created in the AWX. And you can see all those templates in the AWX. Okay. So next thing is that Foreman Ansible modules. So before moving ahead, there is again one thing I want to show you that I can see all those templates in this. If you go to the host and provisioning templates and just search for the Ansible, you will have these templates here. One is the for callback service. So this runs some service on your host, which will tell you that yes, you are communicating with the AWX. So this is just the service which is running on your content host. So yeah, let's move to the next. That is the Foreman Ansible modules. So what is Foreman Ansible modules is that you can automate Foreman itself using the Ansible modules. So we have created some Ansible modules using which you can create different entities. Even you can create a host using Ansible playbook. So here is the example where I'm creating one organization. So from UI, let me show you how you can create an organization. So here is the manage organization. I can create a new organization. Let's say OSTC, submit it. You need to pass some variables as well. So yeah, I don't want to do that and just submit it. So this is the one example where I am creating it from the UI, right? So we have created something for you, which nothing but it provides the module for you. That is the Foreman underscore organization. You just need to pass what parameters you want for that. So here is the name you want to state, present. If you want to delete, make it absent. So it uses the API library that is called Nailgun. So yeah, this is how you can automate your Foreman as well. So you have to just run the playbook and you can do the stuff from the Foreman. So next is the OpenSCAP, which helps you for your vulnerability assessment and scan your systems. So we have the role for this as well. Earlier it was using the Puppet. Now we are having the role for this using Ansible. So under the Foreman organization on Ansible Galaxy, you can find out this role. This role will automatically install Foreman's cap client on your content host. It will configure the config YAML for it and adds the cron so that you can have your SCAP reports generated for your Foreman. So that's it. And if you have any questions, we have website theforeman.org. If you have something to cool do with the Foreman, let us know. We have the IRC channels, Foreman and the Foreman dev, and we have also good community on community.theforeman.org. Yeah, thank you. Any questions?